Good morning and welcome to Workforce Skills with John Morse. How's everybody doing out there? Here we are on a Monday morning again out here in Phoenix, Arizona. It is getting hot again. Can't stand it. It's miserable. I think yesterday I hopped in my truck, left Scottsdale to head home for the weekend. From a weekend in Scottsdale, I went to a workshop and my truck set 114 degrees. It's miserable. I can't stand it. I'm waiting for the change, the cool weather. I'm hoping it's right around the corner for us. But one thing I want to talk about, I had a great weekend. Went to a workshop with my partner in business, Greg. We went to a Grant Cardone Leadership Essentials workshop. It was an amazing weekend. It's one thing I've realized over a period of time here recently is it seems like the older I get, the more I need to teach myself. I feel like I'm learning faster and more. And I wish when I was younger, I would have tried to learn and tried to educate myself better and become more intelligent when it comes to business, finances, money, on how to deal with things. So going through this with Cardone Ventures, it's an amazing group they are. It's the leadership essentials we went to. I've been through their revenue essentials. I've been through their finance essentials. I've been to a 9-figure boardroom with them. I've been to the 10X 360. The next event we have scheduled is another 9-figure boardroom in November out here in Phoenix, Arizona. If you get a chance, look up the 9-figure boardroom with Grant Cardone, and it is an amazing experience for you business owners out there. It will change your outlook on business. I've learned more in the last 3 months than I have the last 3 years on how to run a business. Everything I've done in my business has been trial and error. No one's taught me how to do this. I'm learning from my own mistakes. You screw up, you learn from it, you don't do it again, hopefully. You know, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. So for me, I make a mistake, I learn from it, I try something different. I'm tired of the trial and error. I'm now looking at someone to help me that has the experience, that's been there before me. If you have someone that has a $5 million business trying to get to $10 million, you're not going to go ask the guy with $2 million for help to build up the business. You're looking for the person that's already been there before you. That's what I'm looking for. So I'm trying to educate myself as a business owner, as a leader within the company, to understand what I'm doing at the next level. And it's difficult when you're out there and you're making mistakes, you're learning as you go. And I'm tired of tripping. I'm tired of falling down. I'm tired of the mistakes. I want someone to guide me. And it's difficult when you've been a leader in your company for so long. And with the amount of employees I have, I am the leader. And what I'm realizing now is I now need someone to lead me. Who's going to lead me to that next level? Who's going to help me in business? You can have a mentor out there that you don't even know the person. It could be a book. It could be somebody you watch. It could be videos you're watching. This video right here could be a mentorship for you. What you're watching right now could mentor you to the next level that you need to be. But one thing I've realized here recently, and I think, the school system is a one-size-fits-all. And it shouldn't be that way. Not everybody thinks the same. Not everybody looks at a situation the same. We all gather information differently. So when I look back at when I went to school and how I grew up, what kind of influencers did I have in my life to get me to where I'm at today? It was interesting. I was talking to my mother this morning on my way to a meeting I had on a job site. And I was talking to her about this, how I feel like, I just finished, I'm reading the book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And it's given me a different insight on different things in life. And reading this book, I'm realizing that what was the influencers when I was growing up? What led me to go the direction I'm going? I had a father that really wasn't a part of my life, wasn't a good person. I think a lot of my trouble was because of him, but I can't blame him for it. I made the choices, but I think I was influenced a certain direction. And then talking with my mother, she started talking about what she did to help our family survive when we had no money and when we weren't in a good position. And I started listening to her talk about what she did to provide for the family to make money. And I started thinking about this after I got off the phone with her. She influenced me. My workaholic, my entrepreneurship comes from her. It comes from her without even realizing it, just by watching and listening and seeing her in action. So the best advice I would give to somebody is look back at your life and think about who influenced you to get to where you're at. Who influenced you to be who you are today? Because up to a certain point, I feel like I've never had a role model. I've never had anybody guide me or influence me, but boy, am I wrong. There's so many people, so many different situations that steer us a certain direction. If we hadn't done something when we were 10 years old or been in a situation, would we be the same person we are today? How many things have to happen in your life to get you to the point you're at right now in this moment in your life where you are? And it's literally everything. Every step, every problem, every success, every failure has gotten me to where I'm at today. And you change one thing, it changes everything. I might not be here right now today, doing what I'm doing, sitting here talking to you. And it's tough sometimes because we get so engrossed in social media and everything happening around us that we don't take the time to sit here and think about what got us to this point. What made us who we are today? Can we change who we are today? Can I change the employer that I am, the business owner that I am? I believe I can, because I'm changing right now as I'm reading a book. I'm changing as I'm going through these workshops, trying to better myself. It's changing who I am, how I treat people, my personality. I'm growing from this. What would have happened if I would have gotten this sooner? What if I was going through this process in my life right now, 20 years ago, what would be different? But we can't look at it that way. I have to look at the here and now and say, here's where I'm at right now. Here's what I'm going through. It's happening for a reason. It's happening at the right moment, the right time that I need it in my life. And that's how I have to look at it. I can't change it. I can't change what happened yesterday. All I can change is what I'm doing moving forward. So what kind of leader am I going to be within my business? What kind of leader are you going to be if you're a business owner running your business? How are you going to treat your employees? And even you out there that are employees for companies in leadership roles, whether it's a crew leader, whether it's a manager, whether it's, the scheduler, anything within any business. What are you doing to lead people? How are you leading somebody? And I realized this weekend going through this, being a leader is making other people successful. We don't just lead to have people follow us. Being a leader is creating other leaders. So now I'm looking at my company as how do I implement what I'm learning, what I'm becoming as a leader with the people that work for me? How can I train them? How can I teach them to be better leaders? I look at my superintendents and sometimes I look at them, I think, they're just glorified babysitters. They're just babysitting a job. They're babysitting people. They're making sure everything works. But I've come upon the realization that they're managers. They're called superintendents, but they manage a process. They don't manage people. We have to get in the mindset to where we are no longer managing people or we're babysitting people. We are managing a process for an outcome. And that means guiding people and leading people and helping them get to the next level, making them successful. So what am I going to do today to help lead, to help other people be successful, to help manage the process for people to get there? If we can manage the process, if we can manage the people around us within the process to be successful, to be better at what they're doing, to train them, it's a win across the board for everybody. What can I do differently today? Today, I'm looking at where I'm at. I've got, I take a lot of notes when I go to these workshops. I got pages and pages of, it could be just an idea that pops in my head. I write it down. As I'm doing this, I put a star next to things that mean a little bit more to me or I think is a priority. Then on Monday after the weekend, I'm in my office. I'm sitting there at my desk. It's 5 o'clock this morning, and all our crews are heading out. Everybody's going to work, and I'm writing down on a separate notepad everything that had a star next to it. And that is my priority for this week, the things that I have to work on. Now, I'll eventually get to the other things on the list, but that is my priority. And I'm going to check them off as I go. Or I might think about what I'm going to do. Am I going to act on this? Or am I going to delegate it to somebody else? Am I going to toss it off to somebody else to deal with this situation, this problem? Because the way I look at it too is I don't need to be the best at everything. I need to find the best people at things I can't do to work with me. As an owner of a company or as a leader, you are the visionary. You're the entrepreneur in this situation. You're the one that has to come up with the ideas and guide and lead. But then you have to delegate around you for people to do this. Find the people that are better than you to help you get through these situations. Be the visionary. If you're the idea person, come up with these great ideas, but sometimes you don't know how to implement them. If you start talking about it with the people around you, then they can start helping you implement these ideas and make things happen. That's how we proceed with this. That's how we become more successful. That's how we become better leaders. So today, the leader I want to be is someone that helps other people become successful. I want to lead with a vision of a bigger company, of growing the company. Right now, we're in a position to where we're probably going to double in size over the next year. The numbers are trajecting towards that direction. I can't imagine what I'm going to do a year from now with double the amount on my plate. And I can't do it by myself. So the one thing I've realized is I've been working too much in the business, and I need to start working on the business. And that's where I need to hire the right people. I need to find the right people to work in the business for me and delegate and be the visionary and work on the business and make things happen. It's time to grow the business. It's time to work on the business. I'm done in the business. And that's where I think even as a superintendent, a manager, someone within a company, even though you're not the owner, I think sometimes we work too hard in the business and not on the business. Yes, you're in there. You have a job to do. You have a position. You have to make things happen. But I think sometimes we work too hard in it and not on it. So as a manager, as a superintendent, I'm going to look at my employees and say, I need you to stop working so hard in this. Start working on it. How are you going to delegate to these people? How are you going to set up the process? You're managing a process. You're not there to work in the process. You're there to make sure the process happens. So as you make sure the process happens, you're not working in it. You're just on it, making sure it's happening. That's where we have to change our mindset of how we look at different situations. Now, as an employee, let's say for my company example, we're a painting company. There are employees that have to work in the business. That's a given. There are so many positions out there that have to be in the business. But I think as an employee, you can work in the business and on the business. You can have a dual role in that sense. But I think when it comes to running an actual job, like our superintendents have to run multiple jobs, they have to oversee multiple things. For them, I think what they need to do is work on the job. They don't work in it. They're working on the process, making sure it happens. That's the goal. So I think if we could learn to do that, I think we can become better in our positions. We'll become more valuable to the companies we work for. I think we will earn more respect from our employees, from the people who work under us, the people that we're leading. And maybe I shouldn't use the word work under us. Maybe it's the people that we're leading, the people that we're guiding to the next level. I used to use a word called manipulation a little bit in the company. We got to manipulate these guys to do this or do that. No, I've changed that verbiage to motivation. And I think we have to learn to motivate people to do things. Some people are self-motivated, others aren't. So how are you going to motivate people to go through the process, to make sure the process is running smooth? Everybody has different things that motivate them. Sometimes it's just an attaboy. How many times do we try to motivate people by making negative comments? We think a negative comment's going to make them work harder. How about a positive comment when they do something good? I guarantee you, if you give someone a positive comment for doing something right or doing something good, you can find good and positive things in everything, every situation. But for some reason, there's so many people out there that they look at the negative side. They focus on the negative side of everything. Or they feel like to motivate people is by belittling people. And we can't do that. We don't get anywhere like that. When it comes to your children, your kids, you don't motivate them by putting them down. You build them up. You motivate them by giving them positive comments and energy and remarks. Your kid plays in a little league baseball team or t-ball, or your daughter's in dance class. You don't make fun of them because they fall down and they trip on the way to the base, or they trip while they're dancing. You don't even bring it up. You talk about the good things that happen. You know, I've seen some videos before, and I've done this before when my kids were little. They fall and get hurt. What do? Oh, are you okay? Oh, it's okay. Don't cry. What are they going to do? They're going to cry right off the rip. But I've also changed it to where if they fall, start laughing, make it a joke. They won't cry. It's funny how the reaction changes because of your reaction to the situation. So change your reaction to the situations that are happening out there. Change it to a positive versus a negative. That's what we have to focus on. If we can be more positive in these situations and give more positive feedback and remarks, you will get more productivity out of the people around you. I guarantee it. I guarantee you with my wife, if I give her a positive comment, things are going to go much better today. But if I say something negative to her, it's not going to go very well today. And she's going to carry that with her all day long. So I'm going to do the right thing and make a positive comment every morning. I'm going to say something nice to her. I'm going to make sure we have a great day. Now, that doesn't mean it's going to work with everybody. Some people are just grumpy bastards. They wake up on the wrong side of the bed every day. But if you work on that one person, that grumpy person at work, that one person that is never happy, every day make a point to say one positive thing to them. I guarantee you will see a change. It will happen. And that doesn't just mean in work. That means in your personal life too. You've got a neighbor that you can't stand, that's angry, grumpy, yells at you because where you park your car in front of the house, or your kids are playing in the street. Say something nice to that person every single day, and you will start to see a change. It will happen. I know there's so many people out there that are just miserable in their lives. And there's a certain percentage I don't think they're ever going to be happy. They thrive in that misery. They want to be miserable. You're not going to change them. But we can choose who we want to be around. We can choose to be the positive person. Am I going to let this person that's so miserable affect me and my attitude and how I'm going to react? I'm not going to let it. I'm going to continue to be a positive person. I'm going to continue to speak positively to these people that are negative. It will change them. You will start to see a change. That's not to say it's going to happen in a day or a week or a month. It might take a year or two. But what do you got to lose? Nothing. You've got everything that you can gain. You might get to understand why this person's miserable. We don't know what everybody else is going through around us unless we start talking to them. As you get to know these people and the people around you, you might understand why they're so miserable. What is making them unhappy today? We don't know, so let's find out. Let's change the situation. Let's change the narrative. The only person that can change it is you. Now, we don't have to go around looking for every miserable person trying to change them, but just through your daily activities, your daily life, at work, at home, in public, start to make that change. We live in such a fast-paced world where everybody has a short attention span. It's time to slow down. It's time to take a moment and start looking at life a little bit differently. We go to work, we're rushing, we get in and out, we do our 8 hours, we go home. Slow down. Now, don't slow down to the point where the boss is going to yell at you or tell you you're not working fast enough. We don't want that to happen to you. But what we do want is we want you to take the time to get to know people, to do the right thing, to start to be positive. So how can you change that in your life? How can you start to make those positive changes? It starts with you. It starts with me. It starts with me being a better leader. It starts with me trying to be a better leader. You know, it starts with reading a book. It starts with watching a podcast. It starts with trying to be somebody different. That's all it takes. Being a leader takes lots of responsibility. And there's bad leaders and there's good leaders. We see it in politics. We see it in businesses. We see it in sports. What happens in a sports team when they have a losing record? They don't fire the team. They don't get rid of the players. They get rid of the coach. They get rid of the leader. And they bring in a new leadership. They bring in somebody else to help guide them, to direct them, to make the difference. It's always the leader that comes into play when something is going wrong. Because the leader has to lead. They have to set the path. They have to be the visionary for what's happening out there. So as a sports team who's failing, they get rid of the coach, they bring in a new coach, all of a sudden they're winning games. Now they got some momentum going. What changed? All it changed was leadership, the direction they were going. And sometimes we have to change our direction as a leader. We have to, especially when it comes to a company or politicians, they're stuck in these positions for a period of time. There's certain leaders that you can't get rid of. But a true leader is somebody that can recognize when there's a struggle, when there's failure, and how to adapt and how to change and how to correct the path. How do we correct the path as we're going through something? You know, years ago, I had a couple guys working for me as superintendents, and they thought, oh, John, he's bipolar. He changes stuff so much, and man, we'll be going this route, and all of a sudden he changes it this way. If I see something not working, I'm going to fix it right away. Why let it fester? I'm in the middle of a paint job, and let's just say it's a $10,000 job. We're halfway through. Our cost is $5,000. I should have a profit of, let's make it 10%, $1,000 on that job. But I'm projecting at the rate we're going, and the dollar amount's halfway, but I'm only 40% done with the job. That means I'm going to be losing money. I have to make a change fast and correct it quick so we can be profitable or break even. So these two guys that were superintendents used to think I was bipolar. Oh, he changes this, changes that. But there's a reason behind it. If something's not working, change it and fix it. We don't keep pushing through and hope for a change. We don't keep pushing through and hope that it gets corrected on its own. We have to be the change. We have to make the change. That's what a true leader does. When there's something not working, they find a way to fix it. And when I look at my business and what I've done over the years, and everything is trial and error, and the mistakes that have happened and the failures have made me who I am today. It's made me a better person. But I have the opportunity to learn from a business coach group that's going to guide me the right way, that's been there before me, that's going to teach me so I don't have all these failures. Doesn't mean I'm not going to make mistakes. I still could. But wouldn't you like to have someone on your team that knows the right way to do something or can show you the right way? That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking at team members that can recognize a mistake, that can recognize a failure and correct it. Mid-stride, mid-sentence, fix it. Don't let it keep festering. Don't let it keep getting worse. Why would we keep beating on a door that's never going to open? We have to find a way to make that change. The change starts with ourselves. It starts with me. You know, it starts with me sitting at my desk and writing down these notes of what I need to fix today, what I need to change within myself, what I need to correct in the company. I need to work on the business, not in the business. I need to create processes for the business so it becomes stronger and better. I want to become a larger, bigger company. I know I'm going to make mistakes. I know there's going to be failures. I know there's going to be jobs we lose money on or we break even on. But if I can learn from each one of those situations on how to not do it the next time, and if I can have guidance in that and have a good team on my side, why would I not take that opportunity? So we have to start looking at ourselves, whether it doesn't matter what position you're in, whether you're the employee or the employer, who's going to guide you, who's going to be on your team, who's going to help you get to where you want to be. But as a leader, you have to make sure the people around you are being as successful as you are. As an employer, you wonder, man, why can't I find good employees? Take a look at yourself. If you're that company that cannot hire good help, cannot find good employees, you need to start to take an inner look at yourself. What are you doing wrong? Stop blaming everybody else around you. Why can I not find good painters? Why can I not find good plumbers or framers or electricians or cashiers, wherever you're working at? Look at yourself. What are you doing wrong? Stop blaming everything else around you. So if I can take an internal look, it's why do I not have good painters? Maybe it's because we're not good leaders. So if we can improve on our leadership skills, we can improve on the type of employees that are going to work for us. You will get better employees as you become a better leader. And we never stop growing. We never stop learning. We're always going to continue to become something more. I have to educate myself till the day I die to become better every single day than I was yesterday. The goal is to be better today than I was yesterday. Tomorrow, I want to be better tomorrow than I am today. That's how we improve. That's how we progress in life, in business, in any situation. And the second we stop thinking like that, we stop learning, we stop growing, we stop becoming better. We constantly have to improve on ourselves, on our situation. So as a leader, I'm going to constantly improve on myself. I'm going to constantly train myself to become a better person. And in turn, I'm going to get better employees. I'm going to get better people around me. I'm going to surround myself with the best of the people I can find. The best painters, the best superintendents, the best project managers, the best estimators, the best office staff. Right now, we need to fix our human resources situation. I'm going to find the best person to run our human resources department. That's what I'm looking for. Down the road, I'm going to look for the best person to run our social media, our website, everything. I'm going to find the best of the best. I want the best of the best working for me. And I'm going to surround myself with those people, and we're going to grow this together. But at the same time, you have to be able to stay ahead of your people. You have to grow ahead of your people so they can grow and keep catching up to you. When you stop, everybody else will stop. And you'll wonder, why can't I retain these employees? Because there's nothing more for them. They've hit that peak. They've hit that lid. You always have to raise the lid for your employees, for the people working for you. Whether it's more stimulation in the growth of the company, whether it's more bonuses, a different structure, you're constantly putting that carrot farther and farther ahead to keep them entertained, to keep them moving with you. For me, the growth of the company, we're never going to stop growing. I want to continue to become the biggest, largest paint contractor in the United States. Last year, the largest contractor in the United States did $350 million net revenue. I'm nowhere near that. Nowhere. But I'm going to do everything I can to get there. And knowing that, I'm going to bring people with me. And as we grow, they're going to make more money. They're going to have more bonuses. There's going to be different structure that's going into place. And there's going to be more opportunities and more stimulation within the workplace for growth. That's what everybody wants. Now, that's not to say that there's somebody out there that, they want to be on an assembly line. That's all they're going to do. Put this part in. Every piece that comes by, they're doing the exact same thing. Some people want that, but not the best of the best. The best employees, the best people you're going to find are the ones that want to keep moving forward. They want to learn more. They want to get better. They want more money. Find out what they need to stimulate themselves and what they want out of life. You know, one thing we're working on in the company is our PPFs, our personal professional and financial goals with each person. What do they want in their lives? What are their goals? How can I help them get there? I have my goals as a company, but I can't reach my goals unless I can help my people reach their goals. That's what's going to keep them working for us. That's what's going to keep us going as a company. Get to know your employees. Get to know their goals, what they're looking for. If you can learn from each employee what their personal goals are, their professional goals, their financial goals, you can help them get those and achieve those, you're going to create some beast out there. So my question for most of the employers out there, do you know your employees' goals? Do you know how many employees that you have that don't own a home, that wants to own a home? Or they're driving a beat up car and they want to get a nice brand new truck? What can you do to help them get to that point in their life? Doing that for them, what would that do for your business? How would they look at your business differently? So for us, we're going to look at their personal, professional, financial goals. We're going to help them achieve these. We're going to do everything in our power. Now, that's not to say, oh, I want to be a millionaire, or I want to do this, or own a mansion, or own a sports team. Those are different. Let's make them realistic. We're working on a sheet on fine-tuning the questions for this process. Like I said earlier, we're making a process for every process. This is one of the processes. We started this a while back, but we're trying to fine-tune it. We're learning from our mistakes. We're learning how to become better at this by asking these people, the people that work for us, what their goals are. If I can get to understand our company employees and their goals, I guarantee you they will become better employees. But I'm also going to share the company goals. I'm also going to share the company's professional and financial goals. I'm going to be very transparent in that with my employees. Now, I'm not going to sit on here and share those goals with you guys. Now, if there's somebody out there that wants to come work for us, you'll find out. Come on board. I need painters. We're about 15 men short today. But what I am going to do is share with my employees the goals of the company, the direction we're going. I'm going to share our profits each month. Here's our P&Ls. Here's where we got to this month. Because come January 1st, we're rolling out a bonus structure program for most of our employees. For our crew leaders, our superintendents, our estimators, project managers, they will earn a bonus structure on top of their regular salary depending on the profits of the company and how well we do. They're invested now in this. That's how you stimulate people. That's how you get better employees. And someone made a comment this week, and why would you give them more money for something they're already doing? Because we're going to have key performance indicators in place, and it's basically doing your job, but doing it to the best of your ability. Why would you do that? Because I believe wholeheartedly that doing this is going to get more productivity. It's going to create a better performance on a job site. It's going to create a better atmosphere, a better attitude, everything about it. To the point where next year, once this starts rolling out, I don't think we're going to have to advertise for painters anymore, or employees anymore. I think they're going to automatically hear about this and want to come work for us. There is no company in the Phoenix area that I know of in construction that's doing this. Why would you want to work for a company that's going to pay you $25 an hour to show up to work, do your job, work 40 and go home, or show up to work, make $25 an hour and have the opportunity to make an extra $1,000 to $2,000 a month bonus? And it goes up every time the company makes more money each month. That's the opportunity out there. We have to start as employers, start rethinking the way we look at our employees. My first customer is my employee. My first customer is the person that's working for me. It's not the contractor I'm painting for. You know, everybody has a boss. Everybody has somebody they're working for. I work for my employees. I work to better their situation, their lives, create a better situation, make sure they have a paycheck every week. I'm working for them. In turn, I also make money. But at the same time, we're working for a general contractor. That general contractor is working for an owner of the property. That owner of the property or whoever it is might have investors involved with it. There's a whole plethora of levels of situations and people. My first customer is my employees. I'm going to take care of them first. If I take care of my employee first, what do you think they're going to do for our customers? They're going to take better care of them. And if they're happy doing it, if they're making the money, they're going to go above and beyond. Now, I talked in the past about, employees, we divide them into thirds. You got the bottom third, the middle third, the top third. What I look at with the employees is I'm focused on my top third. I'm going to focus on growing them and helping them. And as the middle third get to that upper level, then we'll start working with them. They got to show the motivation, want to be a part of it. The bottom third, that's sabotaging the company. They're showing up late. They call out all the time or got a flat tire. Can't remember to clock in and clock out, and we're always taking care of it for them. Or, they get their paycheck and, oh, you shorted me 8 hours, not realizing, well, last week we only worked 4 days because Monday was a holiday. Those are the employees that I'm not going to focus all my time on. I'm going to focus it on the ones that want something better, the ones that want to improve on their situation. Those are the ones that are going to get the bonus structure. Those are the ones that are going to get a little something more. And I'm going to keep staying ahead of them. I'm going to keep setting the bar a little bit higher for myself so they can keep following me and getting to there. We're going to grow together. But as leaders, no matter what position you're in or what you do, you have to grow first. You have to get ahead first. And people will follow. You have to lead them. But a true leader builds successful people. You're building successful people under you. You're wanting everybody to get to your level as a leader. Each position, we want our guys to move up to the next level. Start setting the bar a little bit farther each time you get to the next level. It's not a race. It's a marathon. It's a journey that we're taking together. It's a journey that we're going to do together. We're going to grow together. And in the end, we all win. We're all going to win for this. Financially, emotionally, mentally. We're becoming better people within the company as we do this together. That's what we're looking for. So I think today, as I leave you guys with anything, I'm going to highly recommend start thinking about what kind of leader you are. Whether it's in your family, whether you're coaching a little league team, whether you're a student, whether you're an employee somewhere, whether you're the owner of the company, whether you're a superintendent, manager, anything. Think about how you're leading people. Are you leading by example? Are you leading people to make them successful? Are you managing people or just managing the process? Manage the process, not the people. Lead people to be successful. That's our goal for this week. Once again, guys, stay hungry. I appreciate you joining me.